Hey Stampers, Gaynor again, and finally got it back working. Mr. B is a marvellous man, and have you noticed my earrings? He's taken me out today and bought me some beautiful earrings and a gorgeous, gorgeous watch, which you'll see when we go down there. He's just an amazing gentleman and I love him to bits. So, I know it's only February, but it's Frankie and Lola's birthdays in June, and I've promised to make them both a photo album each. Plus, obviously, I'm going to try and my best to fill it as well. If I can't, then Mum will do it with them. So I'm going to flick you down on the other camera. I've already made the album cover. I will put a link, ding ding, one of the corners to the how to cover your album at any size you want. So you can follow those instructions. So I'll send you down on. I'm still there, but I'm down here at the bottom, if you know what I mean. Let me just get rid of that sign. That's better. So this is the gorgeous watch he bought me as well. I had a silver watch many moons ago when I first met him, and the battery died, and guests came and went, but so did my watch. So Mr. B he asked me what I wanted for Valentine's, and I said I would love a new watch, please. So he treated me to a watch and earrings, so I'm a lucky girl. So I've done now, like I say, the album cover, and I've just dropped some paper. It's this one measures it's about 7.5 by 8.5, I think. Yeah, 7.5 by 8.5. So it's I've also lined it, and I've just added 2 simple pockets with the papers that were left over after I cut these down. So I managed to get 2 spines, front and back, and 2 fronts and 2 backs, and 2 pockets with 4 sheets of black cardstock, standard size cardstock. I fetched 5 over, I've got another one there. I've also got my better cardstock. This was just to do the covers, and this is what I use. It's from the range. It's 12 by 12. It's 225 GSM black cardstock, and you get 20 sheets for $4.99. I think it's marvelous stuff. So we're going to do pages, which I haven't done yet. Oh, Gaynor's not even worked out pages. But this is a 3-inch spine, and I normally score at 3/4 of an inch. So 3/4, 1.5, 2 and 1.5, 2.25, and 3. So these 4 pages will fit in there beautiful. And like I say, these were left over, so I just decided to do simple pockets on the insides of each cover. I may add flaps, I don't know yet. But yes, I'm going to get the papers are from Echo Park. I bought these last year. I think I did a video showing them. So these are all the papers you get. And you also get this wonderful, you get these sticker cut aparts as well. You've got 1, 2, there's actually 3 cut aparts, but I've decided only to use the 6x4s and the 4x4s. The 3x3, I think it'd be too much. And then you get this beautiful sticker sheet, and he's just such an adorable, happy-go-lucky little chap, my Frankie man. He loves llamas, he loves bears, he loves all animals. He's gonna love this. So we've got the massive happy birthday there. You know, just I did promise, and I just want to make this a special occasion for him. As you can see, these strips here are off the very bottom. You get a white strip, and it tells you what's on the other side. So I've kept them. And also, when you take off the ends either side, this is the white strip, it says happy birthday, and it's got hats on. And if you turn it over, it says, let me show you, Echo Park one way. But if you were doing a little waterfall, and they're like 1/2 inch strip, yeah, perfect, 1/2 inch strips. I can trim them down minimal, and because that's what it says on the other side, Echo Park. So I'll swap the other way around, but once you turn it over, it just constantly says happy birthday. So I was thinking, if I was doing a waterfall somewhere in the album, I could trim them down to 3/8 of an inch and still have the words happy birthday on every page. There's about 24 of them, because there's 2 on each side, and you've got 12 pieces of cardstock. So yeah, there's about 24 of those. And not only that, they come for little borders on pockets and stuff like that. You know, just have the words happy birthday going across there. So you can utilize all these papers. So like I say, I've done the 6x4s and the 4x4s. And then you can have photos on the back, or you can just journal on the backs, you know, but they've all got that beautiful bunting on the other side. And again, they say happy birthday, hip hip hooray, let's eat cake and stuff like that. Here, the more candles, the bigger the bigger the wish. I never met a cupcake I didn't like or love even. Hooray, happy birthday, and birthday boy. Oh, that's the one. So yeah, and there's also messages on there, but I'm not going to read them all out now. So these strips, like I'm saying, these are the white strips. So, and it tells you on the other side, obviously you've got papers here, and then you've got what its reverse is. So I'm going to use these for border strips as well. Don't let nothing go to waste. And then you had one page which was cut apart for, and again, banners, borders and strips and stuff you could even just die cut out. This is the candle page. You've got the words happy birthday. You've got a yellow stripe, a very happy birthday, and then this one. I found lots of washi tapes that go with all these colours as well, so I'm doing good. And then you've got this was a border strip, this was a border strip, and this was a border strip as well. So yeah, and I've got to try and get it, so I only use this one pack of paper because I only ordered one for Lola and one for Frankie, and they come all the way from America. Quite expensive to get here, but absolutely gorgeous. So let's work out our pages. Oh my goodness, I'll put them to one side. And then let's get some. I'm not going to have pages with pockets in because it's just going to bulk it out too much, because he's only 7 this year. So let's get one. Let's get 1, 2. Oh my goodness! Let me take him out of the packet actually because it crinkles too much. 1, 2, 3, 4, and these will be for my pages. And then this, I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, another 11 pieces there, so they will be used in there. I do have another packet as well. So 8.5 is the width. Is the 8.5 is the height. So let's make these 8.25. But then there's 7.5, 8.25. So let's cut them down first to 8.25, because that is going to be the length of the page, because you don't want to do it 8.5 because that'll be the same width as your album itself. So 8.5. Let's do 8.25. You may add pockets. See, I'm just thinking if I add pockets, these will come in handy as well for parts in this gorgeous little album. These will make great pockets. So if I now score at, I prefer to score on the other one actually, 1/2 inch. I actually need to score this first one at 3/4, sorry. So disregard that line. So 3/4 and then 1.25. So now I need to see. Take that 7.5, so let's do 7.25 because we don't want. And let's just score that there. So you can see what I mean. We can have our page, which is got a self-made pocket in there. There it is. So we can then just glue down those sides, and we can score and burnish. Let me just do one in front of you now. So, and then it's the second score line. Right, yeah. You disregard the first one. So there's our 3/4 edge, which will get attached in here. And then we've got a 1/2 inch gusset, so we can have a bulk out in case of we want to add stuff. So yes, that's what we're going to do. And on 2 of these pages, we're going to have these. I'm going to leave these attached on just 2. So let's do that again. 8 1/4. Another one we can use, and score this at 3/4 and then 1 1/4. And 1 1/4. And then pop that in at 7 1/4, or roughly, and then score that. On the next 2 we'll take that off, so you've got that as a page. Making sure they all come together, top and bottom. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do this time is do all the workings out, put all the pages in, all the flaps, pockets, and then I'll decorate at the end. Because that way, if you just decide you obviously don't want these papers but love the way the album works, then you can do the same with yours. I'm going to fold both ways because the pages will open both ways. And with this black cardstock, I know it can take it because I've used this on all my albums. Every single one. And they all stay in. So there's our 2 pages like that. Now let's cut these down. 8 1/4. More pockets or stuff there. And then we want 7 1/4, then we want 1/2 inch, and then we want 3/4 of an inch. So take them to 8 1/2 and slice that off, and again keep that piece as well. So it's 8 1/4, keep that, and 8 1/2. Keep that. So we've got all our pages. I'm just going to put that away a minute. Get to my other one. I prefer this one for scoring. Mr. Boyce. So let's just open this out. Right, so there's 8 1/4 is the height, and 8 1/2 is the one we want to score. So score it at 3/4 and 1 1/4, and the same on this one. 3/4 and 1 1/4. That's it, done. So just fold the burnish. Both ways. I haven't worked out what I'm going to do yet, but better to be prepared than unprepared. So they will, because I cut these papers to 8 1/4 as well. 8 1/4 by 7 1/4. This is where I can line up So I know that is going to be bang on and level, ready for when I add the next page. So let's fold and burnish this both ways as well. I get lovely comments but not many views on my albums, and I don't know why. For some reason, just I think they must have their favourites to watch for album making, but I'm certainly not obviously one of their favourites. But I watched a lady, I viewed one of her run-throughs of her albums, and she's got less subscribers, bless her soul, and I love it. She just must only ever do albums, and yet she gets like 6,000 views and stuff like that. So we've got our spare card now. We've got our 4 pages, and we can just grab which. I think I'm going to have pocket, plain, pocket, plain, or I could have the 2 pockets and then the 2 plain ones in the middle. We'll decide that in a minute, because we're not going to attach them yet until we've actually done stuff to them. So let's see, pocket, plain, pocket, plain. Right, I am going to do it so the 2 plain ones are in the centre and the 2 pocket ones are on the outside, and same on this way. So pockets plain, pockets plain. Yay! So let's pop these to one side and let's get working on our first page. So again, like I'm telling, I am going to attach these just down the side with a little bit of glue. I'm wondering Gaynor's head's thinking overtime. Right, these flaps that we cut off. So that is going to be 1 inch, so it's going to give me half an inch. Either side you can do a flap, I suppose. But that would have to be out that way. Do you know, I haven't even sussed this out yet. But I like that, because at the end of the day, it's all off the top of our heads. We are going to be creating something lovely. So let's just glue these sides down. And whatever we do on the first 2 pages, I think I'll mirror on the last 2 pages, unless I'm feeling lucky. So just give those a gentle burnish, just so they stay stuck down. Beautiful. So, with this piece is exactly the same width, obviously. So we need to, let's do some scoring. Half an inch and fold. And we can add that on there as a little pocket. So I need to score this about there. And then I can chop that off. I can't see in this light. There it is. And that gives my ½ inch that side as well. Where's that piece? Oh, it's just short, isn't it? don't worry about that. So I could attach a little pocket on there. Just glue the bottom bit of there. You need the gap for things like this. I was going to say something then, I got a bit queer there. So you could have a really tall booklet in there. Let's do that. Because the gap on that is that is just 3 3/8. Just gonna seal the bottom. And attach that on there, right at the very bottom. Keep it in the middle because there's the tiniest little gap either side. Perfect. And along the bottom. So we've got a side pocket and we've got a top loading pocket there. Do you think we should get another one up there? I'm thinking, my head is ticking over. I'm going to cut that down to 3 3/8. Or 3 1/4. Just 3 1/4. Just so we're only getting the minimal of waste. And then let me just measure that. I'm going to trim that down to 8. So I'm just going to fold it in half, making sure the ends come together. He gets uber excited when he gets on his game and starts shouting. And then I'm going to chop that down to 4 inches, which is the tiniest little bits. And then that can have a little booklet going in there. Nice and snug. That's it. Got a little tiny booklet in there now. That is so cute. And what I'm going to do with this piece, I'm going to trim a little tiny fraction off there, because that's 3 3/8. And I mean just the tiniest little fraction. Just to check. Yep, that fits perfect. If I score that now at 1/2 inch, let me just see how big a piece that is. 3 3/4. That is going to give a little photo mat of 3 and say about, get a nice little 3 by 3 photo on there and have a little bit of space as well. So let's score that 1/2 inch. Maybe we could put it that way. Now let's stick to the top. And maybe I can make that little booklet a little bit taller, or just don't push it all the way in. And that'll keep that flap down as well. Oh yes, let's do that. too much glue on, aren't I? Oh. So I'm going to get that right along the top edge. Just along there. And oh, let me just check. Where's those little birthday things? Because they're 3 inches long. Just a little bit short, but you could always add another little piece of paper. You know, you've got like these little flaps, 1/2 inch flaps, and you can have the little words happy birthday. I could trim that a little bit more. Oh, I know all the way along the edge is 1/2 inch. Keep that there. Oh. Have the words happy birthday. I know it's upside down at the minute, but that would fit on there. Just so cute. So he's got all these little hidden flaps, and that can be held down with that little book. It's got a pocket, a little booklet, so there's a space there for a little photograph. Inside there's space for 4, and then 1, 2, another 3 there. So there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 photographs just in that little section. Some 3x3s or some 3.5 by 3s. How cute is that? Now this side, I'm just going to leave plain, and I'm going to tuck a booklet in there later on. I'm going to use these. This is quite a thin paper, but ideal for strengthening. It's just a standard A4. I think I had these years ago. Years and years and years ago. And I can't remember. I think I had them from what's it called? Hobbycraft. You know when they do those little packs of assortment papers, and they're quite cheap, but they'll be great for photo maps, especially going inside here. So I need to trim that down now to 8. So I know it's 8 1/4. I'm just going to roughly guess. It's about 1/4 inch. And check that fits in there. Oh no, I'm going to have to do it to 8. I'm just going to keep trimming down because we glued those sides down. So I'm going to take another 1/4 inch about. Yeah, it's about 1/4 inch. Oh, bang on actually. So that's now 7 3/4. And that'll fit in there. It should do. It's because we glued the sides down. Oh, that's perfect. It's going in there. Okay. I may take another fraction off, so it looks level when I push it in. You don't want them to struggle, do we? Let's take another 1/4 inch. Perfect. Again, bang on 1/4 inch. Getting good at this. That is lovely. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So we're going to tuck spot there. So you can add some small photos. Some small photos here. Inside and on the back. And that, if you don't push it all the way in. We'll keep our little flap down. A booklet there. Right. Oh, it's not quite, because it'd be 1 inch over. No, I'm not doing that. So I think I'm going to leave that page. That's quick, wasn't it? I'm going to do that with all my little happy birthdays. I think I'm going to leave that side, and then we're going to go and do get some larger papers out now, and then we can do I want to do a flap top and bottom. Yes, I do. So, oh, right. I've got head like a sieve. I should write this down first, shouldn't I? So there's 7 1/4. Let me write that down on a piece of paper. Pages are right. I don't have to keep measuring now. So 7 1/4. At least 7 1/4. At least 4 3/4 for that one then. Great. Let's score this at 1/2 inch. Uh, 8 1/4 is 4 1/8. So if I tuck that over, and then I'm going to do it to 4 1/4 actually, so we can cross over in the middle. 1/2 inch. Fold that over. And 4 1/4 on this one as well. So they just slightly cross over in the centre. Keep that for something. You might make little booklets or something. I know it's going to be a bit of a pain, but I just would. Oh, I don't know. So I'm going to have one flap at the top, right along the edge, one flap at the bottom, right along the edge, so they all meet nice and tidily. I might take just yeah, I'm going to take about about a centimetre off both, just to be on the safe side, because we don't want to interrupt. Maybe we just do centimetres too big. I would say about, that would be an eighth of an inch. Yes, definitely. And the same off this one. 1/8 of an inch. Just so it keeps away from the side folding, so we don't have to any interruption. Should have thought of that one in the first place. So we're away from this edge, but we're right along that edge. Perfect. We don't want anything interrupting this when this page wants to open and close. Perfect. So let's start on the bottom. Right the way along, keeping that right along the edge, right on it, and right along that. Perfect. Oh, Mr. Boyce, he gets so excited about his flipping game. Right, shouts rather loud. So that's the bottom. Let's turn it round just while I add this. And this is just going to overlap when I get that right on the edge. Perfect. Oh, or we're going to... No, that's right. I might do that. I'm going to do that. again, keeping this right on the side, right on the edge. Making sure they perfectly meet. This opens, maybe we have some side flaps as well, but as in, because that's 7 3/4, 7 1/4, it's there. When we come to decorate this, because it's 4 1/4, we can add a 4x6 photo mat and have decoration down the side, and the same on this side, same as top and bottom. Let's see where the trimmer has raised the edges so they can have decoration. Maybe we could put a little brad in there and swing it up to keep it shut. I think what I've got in my stash. I can have a look at that anyway. So, right, 4 inches I want to mark. So that is 8 1/4. So about 4 1/8 is there. That is the centre, so let's do that at the top and this side as well. Four 1/8. So I want 4 inches, maybe 4 1/4 again. So when we come to put it down, it sticks. I do it by 6 and that one by 6. So 6 1/2. I need another. Oh, that one's wide enough, isn't it? Definitely. Now, let's cut this one down. So let's do 4 1/4. We would get 2 if I just cut them to 6, but then that would mean they would be, let's do 5 1/2 actually, and do 4 by 5 photos for this one. So 5 1/2, 1 and 5 1/2. On another one. And score them at 1/2 inch. Obviously we'll find the centre. That will go in there. And then this one will be on this side. Perfect. Maybe put little pockets in each of these flaps as well to add things. So 4 1/4 is there, so 2 1/8. I keep putting my pencil back. Just find the centres. don't have to do this, you can just eyeball it, but I'm going to be a bit more spot on. So if I line that up with there, I can hear him playing his day down there, he's so funny. That's that flap, and then spin this around. I need now to close one side down so I know where to add that. So that's bang on. And I want to make sure it's bang on there because I don't want to come over this edge. So line this up. Bang on. That's perfect. Perfect. So they are bang on. So this is the way. I have a little catch on there. Obviously, I can't get a magnet on because it's only 1/4 of an inch. But we'll have a little catch on maybe here, spinning up and holding that closed. So open, 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 and then I'm going to use this space then as I'm going to block it off into 4 so you can add 4 photo mats. Perfect. And some decoration. I'm trying to think now. Right. So that opens. That opens. Open. Maybe we have one. And I have another one there now. That opens down, and that one opens up. I'm going to have to do them at 4.5 because these are just 4 1/4. My brain's ticking overboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spaces there for photos. Tick, tick, tick. I can hear the brain, the cogs in my brain ticking round. So, is that going to be enough? Open them out. Maybe put a little pocket down there as well. I think he's more into flaps and not so much tuck spots. Or I like the gluing down ones because it's less bulk, but then you're restricted for space, aren't you? May do little pockets on these. Maybe if I add a little pocket, that's not going to be big enough. This is just a little bit of extras. Mr. Boyce, oh my goodness, you're an angel in disguise, and I can hear everything you're saying down there.
Oh, sorry, of course.
Look, you spilt it all over my mug. Thank you, though. He's a darling, isn't he? I've got tea sitting in the rows of my cup, and that's tea, coffee. So when I'd have picked it up, it'd have gone all over my work. What's he like? But he does make a mean cup of coffee. Yeah, all the rows was filled up with coffee. Hence the reason for my tissue. Make sure I've got it all out. That's got it. He's a mucky pop. Right. We've still got these pieces here. That's going to be too high. Maybe if I cut 1.5, 7 and 1/8. So 8 and 1/8. Just say 8. Oh, do the 8 and 1/8. That will come for something. And the width on this is 3 3/4. So if I make each one 1.5 or 2, oh I haven't got up to 2, 1.5 and 1.5. Maybe I can add a little tiny pocket on the flaps as they open up, and that one would have one down the bottom. Yes, let's do that. We can get one of those little ephemera cards in there. Just come right down to the edge. Give that an attach. Perfect. Little tuck spot area. And let's do the same on this flap when this opens up. That can go on there. Don't want to come too close to the edge. Going to leave a little gap because of when this folds over. Every time he visits Frankie, he always wants to come up and draw and craft with me. He's such a little darling. So leave about 1 mil or 2 just away from that junction there, because you don't want that's it. Take that out there. That's it. Right along the edge. We can just show that that's a tuck spot. Get a little, oh, look at that, that'll be a nice little photo mat as well. That is 3 3/4 by 3 7/8. So that's a nice little size mat. Perhaps we get a couple in there. I'm just thinking about all my little leftovers. So again, this would be 2 3/8. Nice little 2 by 2 photos on there maybe, or 2 by 3s. I just don't want anything to go to waste. little pocket. So they come on. I want to do something extra on there, but I can't think what I should be doing. Excuse me a moment. Sorry about that. My brain's cogs are still ticking. Open. 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 Oh no, it's going to bulk it up. So right, now I'm going to leave it like that. And then, oh look at that, perfect. And then we're going to add a little, like I say, brad in here. So, or something, and then keep that closed when we come to decorate, because you can't add it now because you've got to add papers. So out of the papers we've used so far, that's the only bit of little waste we've got. If we could match one of them up there, on there, and make a little pin at the ends then. I try my best not to throw anything away, that's what it is. That's okay, I don't mind that little piece going. So we've done pages 1 and 2 already. I think that's brilliant. I'm just going to nip off and come back in about 10 minutes. You won't see the difference. I will merge the videos together. I've got to go to the little lady's room and I should be back in a minute. Give me 2.